This week on the P.E.A.C.E podcast.
And I think a lot of us do that without even realizing it, like whether or not you don't. So like I don't want to say like reminiscing, but I'm always thinking of, oh man, I used to do this, or I remember when I used to have this. And so like even if I'm not saying, oh, I cherish this, I'm constantly thinking back on the things, like the moments, the vacations I used to take when I was a kid, the toys I used to have, the friends I used to have, just all kinds of different things, and I'm always thinking about it.
Welcome to another edition of the P.E.A.C.E Personal Development Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Leonard Matthews. I'm going to have everybody actually introduce themselves today. I love to put people on the spot. Who wants to go first?
What's up? I'm Garrett.
Oh man, the energy is raving right now. Mr. Garrett Hatley. Then we got
the wonderful Miss Alexis Harris.
And Alani.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Alani.
Oh, thank you. Last week had some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
I'm back.
We didn't completely address that, but yeah, Alani, we were in here talking about some serious stuff, having great conversation. Alani decided to dip out on us, but
not even like that.
We're gonna accept you back.
Totally thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come back, be here in person, eat all the candy we have, be part of the team.
Seriously, yeah, all my candy going. I'm trying to pass out candy to the kids, and Alani chomping on it. Jeez. Yeah, last week we actually talked about justice and mercy, so I'm going to take credit for extending Alani mercy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I definitely agree with you.
A lesson that was well learned.
Yeah, if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, no,
yes.
I'm cool with it. Yeah.
Alright, cool. How you guys doing this week?
Great.
Everybody is here in person. We got Alexis almost dying over here, but everybody seems fine.
Yeah, it's Monday. Feels like the week is already like to the end, but Monday just starting. And I feel like Mondays are the best days though. Like start it off on the right foot, like start the week, kill it. Everyone's like, oh, Monday. But I feel like if you kill Monday, Tuesday, you can just coast the rest of the week.
I never coast, but yeah, Mondays are. You know what I'm saying? Getting the beast mode.
Hey. I'm like Garfield when it comes to Mondays. Like Garfield hates Mondays.
You look like Garfield.
I'm just gonna leave that one where it lays.
Kidding. Cool. So yeah, last week we talked about justice and mercy. That was a pretty heavy topic, and I think that we should focus more on the love that's in the
Valentine's Day is coming up, everybody.
Yeah.
The
love doctor.
Love that's in the air. I don't want you guys to get off topic at all, so I'm going to quickly move into the first question. Love. So, the motivation behind this week for me is, first I want you guys to think about, like, what are you guys missing? Actually, no. Think about this. You guys are like, love? What are you guys missing? Think about this. You never know. What's that phrase? You never know what you had until it's gone.
Yeah.
And most of the time people talk about love when they're saying that, right? Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Love or someone, yeah.
Yeah. So this week we're going to talk about the word cherish. Okay? It's like, what do you cherish?
Ooh.
And I see that as a direct correlation to love, obviously. So I guess, does anybody have anything that they cherish? Or anyone that they cherish? And not Garrett or Alexis?
You better have a good answer here.
Garrett's got a thought, guys. I know you can't see it right now.
I wish you could see it. He's thinking.
Smoke's coming out of his ears.
We
got a
all
blood
are
vessel popping over here.
waiting for Garrett and this thought that he has.
I mean, yeah, I think...
Well, what does cherish mean? Let's start
I think
there.
we should start with the definition.
What does cherish mean to everyone?
I would say love, honestly. Like, I know we just said cherish and love are the same thing. But, like, I think they coincide fluidly. Like, hey, I cherish this. hey, I put two and two together.
Love and you value.
Yeah. Whether or not it's love, I value this. Like, hey, I cherish my guitar. I don't love my guitar, but I value my guitar. So that's what
value.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Love and value. Yep.
You're the same. Love and value.
Okay, neat. Well, the dictionary best defines it as to hold dear.
That's what I like.
And the next one was to protect and care for someone lovingly. And when I think of cherish, it makes me think of like when I was little, how I had that one stuffed animal that I was like, it was a little leopard, and I would carry him around with me everywhere I went. And his name was Nemo, and I would love. I still have the stuffed animal.
Yeah. And
it's just that's something that like I loved, and like I was so devastated when like I couldn't find it when it was time to go to bed. You know, and you were like, oh my gosh, where's it at? And then like when I went to bed, it was like everything was all cool, calm, and collected. So that's what it makes me think of.
I'm glad you went there with something that you cherish, because that's what I'm about to ask everybody next. Interesting that Nemo is what you cherish. But I asked my friend Cole. You guys all know about Cole, right? Yeah. So shout out to my man's Cole. I wanted to get a kid's perspective or a young man's perspective on the word cherish, to see like what a kid thought, experience a little bit less of life, but they understand what the word means. And his was to enjoy or to joy,
Yeah, that's good.
And as soon as he said that, I started to think about like it's typically about like moments rather than like a thing. And it made me like, I got these strands of thoughts to just keep extending and extending and extending. But like, it goes back into like, hey, you never know what you have until it's gone. Or you never know what you have. You never know how warm it feels until it's wintertime. Like I cherish the summertime because I enjoy it at that time. Or I cherish being a college student because I get to go out and party whenever I want to, and I don't have bills to pay for, for most people. Or whatever it is, like you're cherishing it because you're enjoying it, and that's it. You're right there exactly where you are.
Mine, I would kind of go along with that, like the moments that you really enjoy. You live in the moment, the experiences, the memories. But two big ones for me, what I really cherish is my family. Because I feel like family being like your biological family, but then the family like you create, you choose. And then two is like your health.
And I think a lot of us do that without even realizing it, like whether or not you don't. So like I'm always, I don't want to say like reminiscing, but I'm always thinking of, oh man, I used to do this, or I remember when I used to have this. And so like even if I'm not saying, oh, I cherish this, I'm constantly thinking back on the things, like the moments, the vacations I used to take when I was a kid, the toys I used to have, the friends that I used to have, just all kinds of different things, and I'm always thinking about it. So I would say that's
What would you say would be one now?
A moment?
Yeah, a moment or a thing that you cherish.
Oh man.
Or cherished.
I would say now, like it would be work. Would be just something like I value. I mean, it's tough work, but just the teacher that I have, what it teaches me to get up early in the morning, to work your butt off for the entire day. I mean, you're lifting stuff physically all day. You're doing all kinds of different stuff, and it just makes you. It's like a twofold. Like I value the work, but also being able to come home and to be able to relax and to be able to have the dichotomy between the two. It's so nice. So to be able to appreciate people that do that full time. It's full time for me, but people do that all year round. Roof, sun up to sundown every day, all year round for 20, 30 years. I'm like, that's not me, but I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate those guys that can do that.
All right.
I mean, because without them, we wouldn't have roofs. We wouldn't have the patches that they got on them or whatever. But I think that would be one for me.
What do you guys think that you cherish the most? Like, if you had to think, like, for me, honestly, it's probably his work. Like, that's my obsession. Even like, I may not like my job, but that's one thing that I cherish the most. I'm not sure if it's because it provides, money, which equals stability, or it's literally my passion, which I think it's more so my passion. Like, I enjoy working. What's one thing that you would say that you cherish, or a person or a thing or vacation or...
Mine would definitely be family.
That's good.
Either like my family I have now or like the future family I will have.
Just the umbrella family.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because you have people that you can depend on? Is people closest to you? Like, why family? Like, what about your family do you cherish?
Everything. Like, I feel like my family made me like who I am. Like, a lot of the values and morals I have, I learned through them from my biological family, and then the family who I choose is who I associate with every day, for the good, for the bad, and just knowing that they'll be there for you no matter what. And then when I say the family that I will have in the future, obviously, like, I'll value them. That's kind of like we talked about before, like your why, like what drives you every day, what's your passion, why. My why is my family.
That's good.
My why is my extended family.
Yeah.
Which is you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you.
No, I can agree with that.
Yours is family too?
Mm-hmm. Whether or not it's biological family or the family that, like what Lonnie said, that I create, I mean, without either one of those, I mean, like, we can only go so far by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I cherish being able to reach out to you or you and be able to have help, or just like even if I'm not talking, just the fact that I have someone or I have people that are around me that I can, trust, rely on, and count to be there, as mushy-gushy as that sounds. Like, that's to me, I would second family.
Good. I'm glad you guys have great families. Yeah, I'm guessing yours is family as well?
It's not.
It's your dad?
No.
It's the teddy bear.
That's why, yeah, that's right. No, mine would have to be my best friend who passed away.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
I catch myself, like, you know how you guys have been like, oh, I look back on, like, like, oh, how I used to have this, or, like, blah, blah, blah. I catch myself a lot thinking about, like, in the summer we would just hang out and, like, all the good things that we did, and, like, I miss her a lot. Like, I think about her all the time. But, like, I really value that, like, I'm able to still have the relationship that I have with, like, her mom. And, like, I have her name tattooed on me. So, like, occasionally, like, I'll be able to look down and I'm like...
I was going to ask you, like, how do you cherish that? Like, how do you show that you cherish it?
I personally don't... It's not that I don't like to show that I cherish it, but, like, my way that I, like, I get to keep her with me forever is that I went and got her name and her signature tattooed on my right side. We promised each other we'd get, like, matching best friend tattoos and everything. And the signature I have on me is the same signature that is on her headstone. And I did not know that until, like, it was there. So, like, it's like, I'm the only person who has that tattoo. So it's like, we still have that bond. And so that's my way of, like, I still go out and every day and I'm like, there are days where I'm like, I can't do it. But then it's like, Katie would tell me, like, suck it up, you gotta keep going. Like, and I mean, I think about her all the time. I talk about her like she's still here too, and they're like, oh, why haven't I met her? And I'm like, well, she's not here anymore, but, but yeah.
Dang, that's tough.
But I do cherish my family, so it's not like my family's like bad. So if anyone's listening,
I get it. You don't cherish your family. I understand.
Well, I mean, sorry, guys.
Yep, friend is more important. I get it. I'm in the same boat. Don't worry.
No, well.
How do you guys, like, cherish your family? Like, are there any ways that you show that?
Just being there for them, being the best that I can. I feel like you're kind of like a reflection of your family. So I want to do the absolute best I can to reflect that for them. I don't have it tatted on me or anything like that.
Not yet.
Not yet. No.
Family, right across the forehead. Coming next week.
No regrets.
FAMILEE. Spelled wrong and everything, right?
Yep, exactly. No, just being the best person I can for them.
Yeah. Same with you, G?
Yeah.
So something I noticed throughout this entire conversation is that none of us cherish ourselves.
That's true. I think for me that I don't want to say I'm always thinking about others, but like when you think, hey, what do you cherish? People aren't automatically thinking, oh, myself. I love myself, because I think a lot of us struggle with that. I know I do.
Right.
I know I've gotten better, but that's not. It's never been, even at the top of me doing good. It was never my first thought of, oh, I cherish myself first.
Isn't that odd though?
Mine kind of goes in there with the health part. Like cherishing your health, like as a whole, physical, mental, emotional, like being you.
But I feel like you said your number one was your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I think it's selfish?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's. I think it sounds selfish, but how much can you give to anyone else if you don't cherish yourself?
I mean, yeah.
And that's why I asked the question. It's just like I find myself doing this all the time. You know, you give to someone else or whatever. You sacrifice for somebody else. You think about somebody else, whatever, and
you don't think for yourself.
You don't think for yourself. You don't take up for yourself.
Like you can't love others if you can't love yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the point. Is you cannot cherish somebody else if you don't even know how to cherish yourself. Like you can't even give them the true love if you haven't figured out a way to take care of you first.
And that's the issue with society.
That is the issue with society, I think. You know?
Is. A lot of people want to, they're like, they want to keep give, but then they're like, it's like the same that I've always said, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it.
Yeah.
Like you can always be like, it's good.
And if people don't understand, like what you just said is like, that's the issue with society, is people give, and people are probably out there thinking like, there's not many generous people out there. Like, the people who aren't quote-unquote generous literally give their attention. Like, that's the trade-off. Is I might be giving a homeless, we might be giving a homeless, and that's our give, but somebody else is just giving their attention.
Yeah.
And I'd say exact same thing, attention on social media, I guess, to clarify.
Yeah.
So that's something I struggle with, too. I wasn't putting that question on anybody else, like to be like,
fine, I get
yeah,
it.
what the hell are you doing?
Cool.
Like,
Yeah,
you
don't worry about it. Struggle. Fine, it's whatever.
Yeah, no, I realized that today actually is like, holy crap, like how much do I cherish myself out of all these questions,
Yeah.
So, what can we do? Like, what are some good characteristics that you guys all have, like personal development wise, I guess we can call it, that show that you cherish yourself? How do you take care of yourself that some middle schooler, high schooler, 30, 40, 50-year-old can adapt in order to cherish themselves a little bit more and build themselves up to give to somebody else?
Why don't you start us, Leonard?
I'll go first. I think one thing I care about is my health. I do, I guess some people call it binging every now and then, like when it comes to sweets and stuff like that. That's part of my enjoyment. I work out because I enjoy it. Like, yes, it sucks half of the time, but I understand that my physical health is important. So that's one thing I take pride in. And then also video games. Like, that's my thing. Some women love shopping, video games, and travel. Probably music too. I try to indulge myself as much as I possibly can outside of work in those three things. Like, like that's a way to free my mind.
Sorry.
You're really good at multitasking too. Like, I've noticed that you do a lot of those at the same time.
Yeah, that is odd. Yeah, so I'll literally play a video game. I'll turn the volume down on the TV, and I'll be playing, a podcast or music or something like that during that time. Yeah. So those are my ways. I guess for me, cherishing myself is to be able to relieve my mind of stressors, of thoughts, all those things. Business. Spending on myself. That's something that somebody pointed out to me. I think it was our guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will remain nameless right now. But I realized about it.
Let me tell this story. Let me get this one.
Please.
So we were talking about things you kind of splurge on.
Yeah.
And like some girls like shoes, shopping, some guys, Jordans, whatever. We were going around and we asked Leonard, what do dude, like, what do you spend money on? You're the most, like, frugal guy we know. And he said, well, I bought a game not too long ago. It was like, well, he was still playing the same
like
old, like,
$10.
2K, like, 2013, and, like, the new one's out. Like, 2K, it was, like, a way old game. And he's like, no, I don't need the new one. Like, dude, you can splurge a little bit for a new game for yourself.
$60. Yeah.
But I thought that was kind of cool. Everyone has their own little splurge. Leonard, not so much.
Yeah,
He's got a new bed set.
Yeah, I don't have that splurge. So that's one thing I've been trying to literally practice is like, hey, like go spend some money today,
That's
or
funny.
well, this week you need to go out and eat or something like that. You know?
Do something for yourself.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't want to say that's. I want to word it carefully. I would much rather have that than have the opposite of having to practice to save all the time, because I'm constantly spending money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think the bad part about that wasn't necessarily that I don't spend money. It's that I am not taking care of myself because I'm saving my money to spend on someone else.
Yes.
Yeah, like that was the issue, is that I literally am saving all of my money because I
Not
know
using it.
Yeah, I know
for
that
you.
someone else can or needs to spend it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
Gotcha. Well, going back to our original question,
Yes.
some qualities and what was it? Qualities what you have,
Basically,
basically.
Sure.
qualities and things you have.
I don't remember what the original
That
question
you
was.
could,
That doesn't matter.
Like advice you could give to somebody.
Okay,
about caring
yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah. What are some things that you do for yourself? That
Going back. My biggest thing is staying healthy, whether that's physically, mentally, spiritually. That for me is huge, and balancing my time, balancing all those areas. Because I've always had like a physical job playing basketball and being in top shape. All that was always important to me. But like the mental, I thought you were going to sneeze again.
No, I almost did, but I stopped myself.
The mental side and like the spiritual side, were always kind of like lacking behind like being physically. Like that was always my top priority. Now finding a balance between all three is super important.
Why balance?
On my level, personally, for my personal development, I was doing a lot of different things I've never done before, and that my mentality had to change a lot. So like the mental health part of it was really big, going from a completely different environment of being an athlete to changing my whole life around basically. And then spiritual side, like, I don't know, I had to find that. I had to grow that part of me. And then physically, I didn't have to be a basketball player anymore. So how could I still be physically fit and enjoy workouts with not having to pound on my body?
Gotcha.
So the balance.
Well, I think the thing that I do a lot is, I constantly tell people that, like when they get down on themselves, I'm always like, there's always someone out there who has it worse. I always tell people that, like, they're like, oh my gosh, I failed my English test, and I'm like, well, there are people out there who have it way worse. Like, it's okay. Things are going to be okay. Like, it may seem like it's gonna suck right now, but like, there's always more to it. I struggled a lot with being like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I reached a very, very, very low point in my life. To where like, it was bad. And it took me to be like, you have to keep going. You just have to. And it's something that I had to find within myself, being like, there are people out there who love you. Like, whether you know it or not, like, it's as small as when you think about a funeral. It sounds weird. A lot of people think that, like, only 5 or 10 people will show up at their funeral. But, for instance, like, Katie's funeral, like, her mom was not amazed. Like, her mom was amazed by the amount of people who showed up. And, like, it's things like that. Like, you don't realize the impact you have on people until, like, it comes to that.
So what are some practices that you have then that you would try to
I know that I am not the nicest person. I know that I am not also the meanest person. But I always, like, if I say something mean, I'm very quick to be like, I'm sorry. Like, I overreacted. I shouldn't have said that. Like, it just came straight off. And I shouldn't have said it. I needed to think more. And I'm usually the first to apologize. If I'm in a fight with anybody, it doesn't mean if I'm right or wrong. Like, I'm always like, I'm sorry. I really am.
We all need that person.
Well, I'm your girl. If you ever get in an argument. I don't know. That, really, I guess.
Okay.
I just always... It's better to be the bigger person.
Okay.
Because if you're not the bigger person, then what are you?
A smaller person.
Smaller person.
Why would you want to be the smaller person?
Exactly. I am naturally short, and you are too. So.
Just because you're short doesn't mean anything.
That is true. Well, you two are the smaller people here.
Yeah, we
Me
are.
and Lonnie.
And just because we're not...
Hey.
We're vertically challenged, but you know what?
We have the
they
bigger
can't
hearts.
bob and weave between people's legs like we can.
Cannot bob and
no.
weave.
Come at me now.
Anyway, cutting this straight in half. I would say, I don't want to say ditto to what Alani said, but almost ditto. Like, I have found in my life that it's very important to have balance because mental, physical, and spiritual, like, you gotta have all three. And you can't have, like, you can have one without the other, but you can definitely tell what life is like if you have one without the other.
Do you have balance?
I'll say I have more balance than what I had, yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely striving and moving in that direction to where I need to be.
I don't know how you feel, but I feel like it's an ongoing process.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can, because like I've been at the top of my game and then just something happened and went all the way down to the bottom. So I think it's up to the day we die. It's just going to be a continual progress of what can I do today to better myself? What can I do? And it's not like a one day a week thing.
Yeah, I
It's
hate the word balance. That's why I always ask people. I'm just trying to figure it out because I feel like balance is dynamic. Not trying to take away from what you guys said.
So
what
word would you use?
I agree.
Equality.
I don't have a word.
Equality?
No. I don't have a word for balance because I feel like it doesn't necessarily exist.
So then what do you call whenever, like, what do you call that?
It's dynamic. I don't call it anything. That's what I'm saying.
What's the dynamic?
Everything is dynamic.
I'm just asking.
I'm just saying like
Yeah,
when it comes to balance, typically like if you look at a scale or a diagram, it's like all right, it shifts and then it stays.
Right, yeah.
Like the consistency?
Sure, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like to me like typically when people use the word balance,
To make two
it's
things
it's to make two things even, and then it's just literally a continuous flow.
Right. Yeah, okay.
And that's what you said too, Alana.
Yeah.
I'm just like I hate the word balance when balance is used.
Yeah.
I guess.
Then I would say, like the physical, mental, and spiritual dynamic would be like a sound wave, how it's up and down all the time. I'm always gonna strive to keep going up. Obviously, there's gonna be times when I'm going down, but I mean, you can always get better. You can always learn things.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be.
So give me something out of one of those three areas: the mental, the spiritual, or physical that you practically do. I just want to give somebody something here that you practically do in order to reach your balance or dynamic state, or growth, or even growth.
I'll do mental. For me, I do a lot of like positive affirmations.
Okay.
Because I think, like you said, we hear so much negativity throughout the day, and like I can't do this or da 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 da. Like having positive thoughts, like every morning, like I'll spit off like 20, like I'm an awesome friend. I'm a strong female. Like just 20 positive things, just off the top of my head as soon as I wake up.
Positive affirmations; those are key, golden.
AKA, we'll get into this, but like that, I have that tattooed on me. I am with the semicolon. That's for a different podcast, but it's very
coming soon.
We go deep in that one.
I like that stuff. I had friends that just had the semicolon too, but that's awesome. I'll go into health. I think for me, I as often as I can, I'll just drop and do 50 push-ups, drop and do 20 push-ups.
Mr. Swole Buff, huh?
No.
If you guys have never seen Garrett before, he is jacked.
I am swole.
Yeah.
He makes The Rock look like a pebble.
Yeah, I'm the Rock's Rock.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
You look like an American Eagle model.
That's very odd.
American
I was
Eagle.
gonna say Hollister, then I saw American Eagle.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well,
Except a really swole. We don't
Right,
want to paint
real
the wrong picture here. But
yeah. No, I'm not like that.
Mr. America.
Yeah, no, I'm Captain America.
Captain America?
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
Mr. America.
Mr. America.
He's a knockout version.
He wears a suit
He's the
24/7,
great
right?
value. The great value Captain America. No, I think it's just all those coupled together, like the 20, 50 push-ups, whatever. It just makes you feel good. It gets your blood flowing. It gives you that I'm ready to go
Yeah.
kind of feeling.
Yeah. I think I might have created that routine in you.
Yeah, I think you definitely kickstarted it, and then I think, well, because when me and Leonard were in college, Leonard was this.
He'd be like, drop and give me 50?
Yeah. With
Are you serious?
No,
Would you really?
No. We would train together.
No, I would naturally do
Hey man,
push-ups.
bet you I can do 50 push-ups and bet you can't do 51.
Well, when I was in, never mind, just a different. But yes, he definitely kickstarted.
Man, so what we learned today as we prepare for this bomb of a dad joke coming, because I'm sure,
Alani, you're gonna love it.
I'm sure it's gonna take the whole thing. What we learned today is number one, I think at least, to cherish yourself first, so that then you can cherish others. Some takeaways of things that you can do. I said to play video games, listen to music, travel. We got words of affirmation. Make sure you're the first person to forgive, or just drop down and give me 50 push-ups. Give me 50 push-ups.
It gets swole.
Yeah, get swole. If you want to look like Gary, you gotta do 50 push-ups a night.
Yeah.
And in the morning.
Yeah.
And at lunchtime.
And in the evening.
Yeah.
You need to start doing more.
So we appreciate you guys listening. Tell us what you cherish, and I'm gonna try to cherish. I'm gonna do my best here to cherish this dad joke.
Oh, it's coming.
That Alexis
All
is
right.
gonna leave us with.
I already told them, but you're going to listen. You're going to love it.
Okay, lay it on me.
All right. A weasel walks into a bar. Okay.
Make sure you say it so that we all can hear it,
So-
every single word, and we can soak this
A
in.
weasel walks into a bar.
Huh?
The bartender says, "Wow, I've never served a weasel. What can I get for you?" "Pop," goes the weasel.
Good one.
You're welcome.
She might finally killed this one. This is probably the best one.
Really?
Best one ever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's not saying.
I would say the
much.
first or the second, yeah.
Yeah, it's not
Well-
saying much.
Because we've done what, 5 now? 4?
Yeah,
So she's at like a 20% success rate.
yeah. She
You're
had
on the
like
come
5
up,
in each.
Alexis.
You know what?
Yeah,
We
we
were
come
talking
up.
about cherishing today, and I don't feel very cherished
No,
by
no,
you guys.
I love your tenacity in trying.
Oh, so that's
I
cherishing.
cherish-
You
yes.
cherish me. Thank you.
And cherish, yes, very much so.
Love.
And we cherish the people. So as we leave you guys, make the people.
Because the people make movement.
Peace.
See you guys.